Hey guys, Justin here with Moon Acres Homestead. Happy New Year. It's been a while since I've made a video. I thought with wintertime things were going to slow down. I'd be sitting around eating bonbons and reading magazines and catching up on soap operas, but it's been the exact opposite. I've spent a lot of time researching what we're going to do next because I can't sit still. We've got our chickens and everything now, but I've really been wanting to expand on it and trying to figure out which direction to take it. So I've used the time to research honeybees, and we've got 3 nukes coming here in a month or two, and we're doing our horizontal Langstroth hives. That was a lot of work trying to figure out which direction to take that because there's so many different options and everybody's got an opinion. You've got flow hives, you've got regular Langstroths, you've got top bar, I don't know. Anyway, so a good friend put me on to the horizontal Langstroths, and I'm excited about that. They look really cool. And more to follow as we get those in, but those are all on order. We've also got like 30 something ducklings coming here in a month or two as well, and we're really excited about that, so trying to learn as much as I can about ducks. And in the meantime, our rooster, Dr. Shockaloo, has just been doing good things out in the chicken yard, and so we ordered an incubator, and we are on day 21. You may hear some little chicken peeping sounds right next to me. We're here in the storage room. We've had this thing set up for 21 days now. It's a Harris Nurture Right 360, I think, and it's been awesome. It's really been good. We'll talk about it here in just a second, but today's an exciting day. So this morning about 6:45 is when the first chick came out, and it was one of our Cinnamon Queen Dr. Shockaloo, which is an olive egger, Cinnamon Queen olive egger mixes. And then right after that, we had one of our Leghorn mixes come out, and they're really neat looking. So more of them are pipping right now, but before it gets too exciting, I decided to make a video to just kind of show you what we've been doing and our setup and everything, and just show you the sweet little chicks, because this is really fun. So here we go, check it out. So we have 2 of them who are out right now. They've been out for a couple hours, so they're starting to dry out. It's really funny because they'll go for just a minute or two, rolling all the eggs around, and then all of a sudden they just lay down and take a nap for a couple minutes, and then they go right back at it. The bigger one that's on the right, that is our Cinnamon Queen olive egger mix, and then on the left is the Leghorn olive egger mix, and it's a little smaller because they're smaller eggs. I think we're establishing a pecking order already. And you can see the Cinnamon Queen eggs in the back here. They're the brown ones. You can see how much bigger, well, you could see how much bigger those are than the Leghorns. So right here, I think this is an Easter egger mix, just because it's more of a cream colored. We weren't sure really what eggs to get out of our Easter egger, and we've not noticed really any other colors except for kind of a little off-white sort of cream color. So I'm excited to see what that one's going to look like, and it's pipping right now. It's been working a little bit. You can kind of see it's just funky angle here, but it's been working pretty hard for about the past hour and a half trying to get out of there. And you can see the Leghorn egg behind it. It's also pipping down there on its bottom kind of corner. I guess it's an egg, it doesn't really have a corner, but you know what I mean. So but this incubator has been awesome. We pretty much just plugged it in and followed the directions, which are really simple. It has an egg turner that you remove when 3 days out from hatching, so that's not in there anymore, but it does a great job just rotating the eggs. Really didn't have any issues at all. These little ports right here, when you first start, for your first 19 days, this is the only one that you put water in because it's small. It's a smaller channel in there, and so it's less surface area. So you can control the humidity a little bit so it doesn't get as humid. But when you get closer to hatching day, like around 3 days out, it tells you to take the plug out that's in here, and you fill this guy up with water. You see the little teapot? That's my mom's old teapot, sorry mom, but it has been the best thing really for getting the water in these little guys so it doesn't overflow. But there's just channels, 2 separate sets of channels grooved out in the bottom underneath of that grate, and that's where the water goes into, and then your heating element is up here on top. And it's really simple controls up here, but as soon as you plug it in right out of the box, it goes to the 21-day cycle, and it automatically goes to 99.5, and then The humidity, basically, you control that with the water. You don't control it up here. This is just a display. It's just a readout. From brewing, from being a professional brewer, I really like to have kind of checks and balances with all my sensors and things. So I got these little cheap hygrometers that will tell you the humidity and the temperature in there. But the thing is, these do wet bulb temperature, so it's a degree or two less than what this guy is going to be set to up here. This is a dry bulb thermometer that I like to use for brewing. It's really, really good. And you can see we're at about 98.87, whatever. That's great. That's great temperature to be, because when you're actually incubating the eggs, you want to be at that 99.5, and then about 3 days out, you drop it down about a degree. And so with this thing, the red light flashing, it says, yeah, I'm trying to get to 99.5, but that's not the actual temperature. So you do need to check it with something else, just for sanity's sake. And also temperature, you're going to have different gradients, because hot air rises, cold air is going to be at the bottom. So it's going to be maybe a half a degree or degree less down here than it is up here. So keep all that stuff into mind. With these hygrometers, they all say a different thing, and it's all higher than what the machine says. So what I've been doing is just writing all those numbers down, taking an average, and figuring out about where we are. So right now, with the 3 days out kind of setting, we leave this door or this window, vent, whatever you want to call it, all the way open, and that helps to regulate the temperature and also the humidity. And then you can adjust that, you know, as you see fit there to get your numbers where they need to be. But the directions are great, and the directions are kind of what I go to first, because they're the ones that made this thing and they know how it works best. I've got a book on incubating and hatching as well that's been helpful, but if there's a question, if there's a difference between what the two say, I go with what the directions on the machine are. So let's see, is that little Easter egg coming out anymore? All right, well, they'll probably work for another couple hours. I did get a little greedy or excited, we'll say, when I started this off, and so about 12 hours after I started it, I put the first eggs in there. That next morning I ran out and grabbed a few more eggs and threw them in there. So we might have a few that are a little laggy. So I've adjusted my time so it goes a little bit longer, and I'm gonna leave anybody that hatches today, they're gonna stay in there overnight, because they can be in there 24 hours before you have to worry about dehydration or things like that. So, but if I opened them up, or opened this up and took every one out as it hatched, then I'm gonna disturb it and let the temperature out, I'm gonna let the humidity out, and that can actually kill the birds trying to get out of the eggs, because you can see, maybe you can see in there, there's kind of a membrane that they have to fight out of. And if the humidity is too dry, that membrane basically kind of shrink wraps around them and they can't get out, and they'll die that way. So it's really important that you have some patience and respect the process, and don't get too excited like a little kid about this, because man, it's really tempting just to take them out and hold them because they're so super cute. But anyway, we'll see how our yield is. There may be a few that don't hatch, and that's okay, because I don't even really know what I'm gonna do with all these chickens right now, but it sure is cool and really neat. So, but we're getting geared up for spring, and I should be making some more videos now. Things are starting to get established. I finally finished the shed. I'll have to show that to you guys. Some of you may have already seen it, but that's out of the way. That thing has taken me months and months and months. You know, like the storage sheds you see on the side of the road that you can pay somebody $10,000 to build? Well, I kind of did my own, and I really appreciate having somebody else, paying somebody else to do stuff like that, because of how much time it took, on top of trying to get the rest of the stuff on this homestead going. But anyway, we're doing well. We're excited about the new year, and we look forward to making some more videos. So make sure you like, share, tell your friends about us, because this is pretty cool. We're at the same time, with that being said, we are not experts. This is my first year doing this stuff. I'm a brewer by trade, and before that I was a military survival instructor for 10 years. So this is sort of related, but not really. So every day is a learning experience, and I'm gonna bring y'all along as we kind of have some successes and some failures. But I appreciate you following, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.